we welcome you back to the baseball field. We apologize for that delay as they did resume the game here, and currently Rockwood has a 4-0 lead as Grant Grove is at the plate for the Rams, and he'll rip that one to right field and pick up an RBI as the Rams will get on the board for the first time today. But we do apologize for that. A little bit of a delay as we were trying to get set up and everything, but we are here, and under this rain, there's still a little bit coming in as the Rockets came to bat, and they did score a few runs as Grant Grove takes off to second. He gets in there safely. The ball's going to get by, and Grant Grove's going to get to third, so we're going to do a little bit of a radio broadcast here. Unfortunately, due to the weather, we cannot do actual video. But as we try to recap, right now the score is 4-2 as Cameron Kemp gets to third base off of the drive by Grove to right field. Will Toy scored from second. And in the meantime, Grant Grove here in the third inning was over at first base. The Rockets went to pick him off. Grove took off for second. And when they went to throw it back over to second, the ball got by the shortstop Pletcher. So Grant Grove moved up to third base and Cameron Kemp scored. And the batter Nicholson standing in the box here with a 2-1 count. So with a 2-1 count, the score is 2-4. The Rams have cut the Rockets' lead in half as Nicholson swings on and misses at that one to put the count at 2-2. So we appreciate all of you hanging in here with us. With no outs, Nicholson takes that one up high and outside to even up the count at 3-2. And obviously, the first time we've ever had rain so far as doing an outside broadcast, at least for me, it's Nicholson gets hit right at the kneecaps, and that will put him on base to put runners at the corners for Hunter Holiday's. That one drilled Nicholson right above, maybe at the kneecaps there, and it smacked him, and he'll be awarded first base, and Hunter Holiday will step up to the box. And just not the type of day for baseball, but they're still playing on here in Confluence, and Rams trying to do damage, and Holiday will rip that one to left field. That one will skip in front of the left fielder Shao, and the Rams put one across the plate, and it's a 3-4 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. Off of the rip fly ball, or you could even call it a line drive by Holiday, and he'll pick up a ribby. So that one was drilled out to the left fielder Shao. Couldn't get there in time, and the Rams are only down by 1 with no outs and runners at first and second, and Mudrack trying to get things going here for Rockwood as he throws that one outside for ball 1. As Mudrack trying to work his way, he's done so far in his first 2 innings. When we were off the air, the Rams were able to get the bases loaded up. In the meantime, Culp will foul that one over the dugout, and they got the bases loaded, but Mudrack came back and struck out Hoover and Schmidt in the inning, but trying to do that same type of thing here, but really struggling to do so. The Rams got runners at first and second. That one's ripped by Culp to second base. Rockets are going to try turn 2. They'll get the runner Holiday out at second as Whipke tossed that over to Pletcher, but Pletcher decides to not throw it over to first as Culp was already past the bag before Pletcher even could come set to toss that one across. So that'll move up the runner Nicholson to third. And with 1 out, the Rams bring Trussler to the plate. Meantime, Mudrack tries to pick off Culp, but Culp slides back safely over at first base. As Culp has slim lead there, but was able to slide back as Mudrack comes set and tosses that one. That's up high on the batter Trussler for ball 1. Everyone has their umbrellas out here today. Fans are still, family, friends are still staying here for the game as that one gets by Trussler for ball 2 on the at-bat. So with 2 balls and 1 out, the Rams Sitting with runners at the corners. Tressler trying to drive him in. He gets cold on the pitch there, a little bit outside of the zone, to put the count at 2-1 strike. Mudrack comes set. He'll toss that one. That one's cracked at center field by Tressler. And there to make the catch is Bear. Nicholson doesn't tag up as he plays safe at third base. And with 2 outs, Stephen Hoover will come to bat. So that one with a little floater out to the left center fielder, Bear. And Bear was able to get under and make a little bit of a slide to put that one in his glove for out number 2 and bring up the batter, Stephen Hoover, as he takes that one for a cold strike. To start off the at-bat, Mudrack trying to bow back. Hoover caught swinging on the second pitch. And now the Rams are caught in a hole here with down 2 strikes. And they could be leaving runners here at first and third, but Hoover's able to keep the at-bat alive as he takes that one outside for ball number 1. Mudrack trying to bow back here as he comes set. That one just low at the kneecaps inside of the plate for ball 2 to even up the count. So with 2 outs, Mudrack working quickly from the mound. He'll throw that one in a cold strike 3. Hoover is caught with the bat kept on his shoulder. The Rams strand 2, but they get 3 on the board and they're only down 1 from Rockwood. 4-3 is the score after 3. Four to three is the score in Confluence as we welcome you all back here to the baseball field. Rain's still making its way down, but the baseball's still being played as the field's holding up pretty nicely so far. So the Rockets will come to bat here as they allow 3 runs to cross the plate in that inning, but were able to get out of it by getting the last 2 batters and preventing the Rams from tying it or even taking the lead, as Kemp will finish warming up from the mound, and Grove will fire that one over to the shortstop Toy to bring up the batter Whipke to the plate. On the day, Hunter Whipke has gone 0 for 1. He's been playing second base, as ball was a little wet there, so Holiday had trouble handling it there. He's able to give it to Kemp, and Kemp will come set though from the mound. Cameron Kemp trying to work his way through this 4th inning, trying to keep the Rockets lead at 1, but in the meantime, Whipke will ground that one up the center hole for a single to start out the inning for the Rockets, as that got right over the second base bag, right between the shortstop Toy and second baseman Schmidt, to put Whipke on first base here in this 4th inning. So now Shao will come to the plate, the number 9 batter in the Rockets order, as Kemp will get a new ball from the umpire there, a little bit wet as the rain seems to actually be picking up, as Kemp throws that one, and that one's going to go down the line. A bunt by Shao. That'll move up the runner to second base. In the process, Shao is thrown out at first, but a sacrifice bunt moves the runner Whipke up to second to bring up the top of the order for the Rockets. Whipke standing on second. That one's fouled back by the batter Mudrack to lead off this 4th inning for the Rockets. With one out and one strike, Mudrack trying to get the runner Whipkey in from second base. He gets a pretty good lead over there, and that one is fouled back over the backstop by Mudrack. First strike number 2 on the at-bat. Cameron Kemp so far has pitched 64 from the mound. He keeps working here and trying to keep that number as low as possible. So he'll come set once more and toss that one in for ball number 1 on Mudrack. The pitcher today is going 0 for 2 at the plate. Been able to be pretty productive though at the mound, as he's been able to do a good job to work his way out of those tough jams and keep the Rockets alive. But he'll swing at that one, but he'll get by the catcher Grove. Mudrack taking off for third, but that one will get by Holiday, and it will score 1 for the Rockets as it was thrown on the right side of the runner. Holiday couldn't get across in time, and it will skip in the right field. And scoring across the plate will be Whipkey, and the Rockets are on top 5-3. As the Rams try to pick off Mudrack at first, but he's able to get back to first base in time. And with Mudrack standing on first, the batter Pletcher will come to the plate, and he takes the first pitch for a ball to open up the at-bat. As the runner in the meantime, Mudrack, took off for second. Rams decide not to throw down, so Mudrack will be there safely to pick up the stolen base. Kemp comes set once more. That one's thrown outside for ball 2. As get a little bit of train action in left field. Obviously the tracks run right through up on the bank there out in left field and someone in center, and a little bit of action out on the tracks here. Rockets trying to get some action as well, as that one's foul just out of the reach of Grove as he tried to make a diving effort, but couldn't get there in time, so that will be a foul ball to put the count on Pletcher at 2-1. So with 2 balls and 1 strike, Rockets are back in business here with the runner on second. Already got one across the plate trying to do more, and that one will hit the batter Pletcher to the in the foot, and that will force the runner Mudrack back to second base. And Mudrack appears to be in a little bit of pain over there at third base for the Rockets, as maybe he pulled something on his way to stealing third base. And he'll head back to the dugout, and we hope he's okay, as the Rockets are going to get a pinch hitter. A courtesy runner in the game, and that could be huge for the Rockets. Having Mudrack out, obviously he's their starting pitcher, and that could be a big change in the game here. We'll see what happens to Mudrack, as I just caught the tail end of that over at third base, and immediately stopping at the bag, he leaned over, and he'll come out of the game. As up to the plate now will be Weaver. That one's taken for a high called strike on Weaver. So with 1 out, the score is 5-3. Rockets have runners at first and second base. Both runners getting a little bit of a lead. Kemp coming from the stretch, trying to work his way out of the inning. As he'll come set and throw that one down low for ball 1 on the batter Weaver. Andrew Weaver playing today for the Rockets. His dad is an assistant coach for the Rockets, as Kemp throws that one off the hill, and that one's blasted to center field. Nicholson on the run, and that will drop down in front of Nicholson. The Rockets will score 1. Pletcher being waved home and picked up by the cutoff man Schmidt, and the Rockets will plate 2 across the plate thanks to the blast by Weaver to deep center field, and he'll get a stand-up double for the Rockets, and the Rockets are now on top 7-3. So that one was just cracked right in between the hole of Hoover and Nicholson. Nicholson was there to get it. As Kemp tries to pick off the runner. Fletcher at second. Can't do so. So he'll get the ball back and he'll bring up the batter, Benford, here for the Rockets. Benford at the plate. That one swung on and missed for strike one on the at-bat. Cameron Kemp gets the ball back, staying at 74 pitches on the day. 14 have come in this inning. He's allowed the Rockets to boost their lead up to 7-3. Trying to prevent that runner, Weaver, from scoring from second. That one skips down the first base line for a foul ball. And now Kemp has the batter, Benford, right where he wants him with 2 strikes. Benford will tap his head and settle in the box with an 0-2 count. Kemp trying to retire him. He'll throw that one in there for a beautiful pitch, but Benford stays alive as he gets a piece of that one and fouls that back to the backstop to keep the count at 0-2. So, Benford at the plate. He's got an 0-2 count on him. Trying to stay alive as Kemp comes set. That one is poked out of the dirt almost by Benford. Head over to the shortstop, Toy, and Toy gets it over to Holiday in time. A little bit of a weird play there as the runner, Weaver, was directly in front of Toy. And Toy kind of had to work his way around Weaver to get into position to make that ball, but he's able to do so and retire the batter, Benford, to bring up Fileski to the plate. 2 outs. Fileski coming to bat here for the Rockets. Kemp will come set and throw. That one is fouled back just over our heads for foul number 1 on the at-bat. And 2 outs here for the Rams. They're trying to prevent the runner from Weaver from scoring. He stands only down the third base line as Kemp throws from the rubber. That one's taken upstairs for ball 1, and that will put the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. As Kemp will put the ball behind his back and come set once more. So he'll stand from the stretch and toss that one in. That one's hit by the batter, Fileski, and right by the shortstop, Toy. A little floater, and that gets by. And Fileski will pick up the RBI and keep the Rockets offense rolling here as they're blasting their bats right now, and they take an 8-3 lead thanks to the knock hit by Fileski. That one's cracked to the shortstop, Toy there in time. A beautiful effort. Can he get it and cross? It gets by Holiday and 2 bases. A beautiful grab by the senior Will Toy at shortstop. He's able to pick that one out of the dirt, but as he threw it across the diamond, just got hit the dirt and got by the first baseman, Holiday, and it trickled out of play. So even worse, the batter, Fileski, will get a double out of it to bring up Hager to the plate. As Hager fouls that one down the third base line to start off the at-bat. 2 outs. Rockets trying to keep this offense going. That one's cracked to left field. Trussler on it. It'll go over his head, and the Rockets are going to get a few here as Trussler tried to get underneath that one. It went over his head, and the Rockets will put 2 across the plate to get their lead up to 10-3 here in the top of the 4th inning. And the Rockets are red hot right now here in this inning with a 10-3 lead. As the batter for the Rockets will come to the plate, and in the process, the runner for the Rockets will move up a base. With an 8-3 lead, Rockets are trying to stay alive, but that one is fouled back to put the count at 1-1 with 2 outs. Kemp trying to work his way out of the inning. So he'll come set once again from the mound and toss that one. It's poked over to shortstop. Toy picks it up and he'll toss that one over to Holiday to end the inning. A long inning it is, but the Rockets are able to tack some runs on the board and keep their lead going here. And after 4 innings, the Rockets are up 10-3. we welcome you back here to Confluence. We apologize there during that last inning. A bunch of changes were made for the Rockets, and I was trying to calculate all that, but in the meantime, we missed the Rams at bat there in that inning, but we'll try to recap as much as we can here. Now, the Rockets made a few changes. Benford came over the pitch while Hager went to first, and Wagner moved over to right field, and the Rockets were able to get 3 outs in that inning as Schmidt went down on 3 strikes. Will Toy popped out to second base, and then Cameron Kemp hit one to right field to Wagner to end the inning. So we'll step aside here before the bottom of the 4th, and right now the Rockets are all on top 10-3. So we welcome you back here to Confluence. Rockets coming to plate with Shao coming to bat. As the Rockets are all on top of this one, currently with a 10-3 lead heading into the top of the 5th inning. Cameron Kemp still pitching from the mound for the Rams, as he'll come set and toss that one in for a called strike to open up the at-bat. Aaron Shaw in the day is going 0 for 1 at the plate, as Kemp tries to keep things going here from the mound and prevent the Rockets from doing any more harm, as Shaw's caught swinging on the outside pitch to put the count at no balls and 2 strikes. As Cameron Kemp will come set once more and toss that one in the dirt for a ball. And with a 1-2 count and no outs, the score is 10-3 in favor of the Rockets, and Kemp trying to do all he can to keep that at a minimum. The Rockets from scoring any more runs as he'll deal once again from the hill. That one's poked up in the air to the second baseman Schmidt. He'll track it and slowly go back a little bit before catching that one and sinking it right into the glove for out number 1. So that will bring up the top of the order for the Rockets, as Cameron Kemp will come set and toss that one in for a swinging strike on the Rocket batter. As Kemp once again here with 1 strike, trying to make this a quick inning. A ball is taken inside to put the count at 1-1. Here for the Rockets, Cameron Kemp trying to keep working out of this inning. He'll come set once again from the mound and push off that rubber. And that one's tossed in and hit in the air to shortstop, and there for the catch to retire the Rocket batter is the shortstop Toy for the 2nd out of the inning. So that will bring up a new batter for the Rockets to the plate. Here with 2 outs and a 10-3 lead right now over the Rams. That one skips in the dirt for ball 2. Here on the Rockets batter. As Kemp once again tosses that one. That one's taken low for ball 2. Here on the ball 3 on the at bat. So Cameron Kemp has a lot to work left to do to get back into this at bat. He'll try to battle from the mound here, but he gets the ball 4 outside pitch is the batter Pletcher to put him on first base with 2 outs and bring up Weaver to the plate. As rain still hasn't stopped here in Confluence, it's still pouring its way down, and trying to do all we can here on the YouTube channel to make sure everyone watching is having a good broadcast. That one gets by the catcher Grove to put Pletcher on the second base with 2 outs. Here on the batter Weaver with a ball on him, and currently sitting under an umbrella right now on the chair out down the first base line, trying to do all that we can, as that one will skip in the dirt in front of Grove, and that will be ball 2 on the batter Weaver as Pletcher moves up to third base, and he'll be only 1 base away from scoring as Kemp once again throws, and that one's taken up high for ball 3 on the batter Weaver. So Cameron Kemp still trying to work on the mound. He's thrown 6 consecutive balls and trying to come back here to get the batter Weaver as he tosses that one for a low called strike at the Caps to put the count at 3 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs here on Weaver. Cameron Kemp comes set. He'll toss once more from the rubber. That one's just upstairs for ball 4, and that will put Weaver on and bring up Benford to the plate for the Rockets. So with Benford coming up to bat, Kemp still trying to work his way from the mound, trying to prevent the Rockets from scoring anymore. Runners on first and third. That one's taken for a called strike. In the meantime, Weaver will slip in over to second, so he'll pick up a stolen base. Benford on the day is going 1 for 3. Trying to get a little productivity here at the plate as he takes the second pitch of the at-bat by Kemp up at the head for ball 1 and put the count at 1-1. Cameron Kemp comes set from the rubber. That one's fouled back over the Rockets dugouts for strike number 2 with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Rockwood's leading 10-3. Got runners here on second and third with 2 outs. Benford trying to keep the at-bat going. Kemp tosses that one. It'll slide over to the shortstop, Toy. It'll slip by. Toy tries to get over to third base to catch the runner Weaver. But in the meantime, it'll get by Culp, and that will move the runner Weaver up to home as that one went out of the play over down the third base line. And Eric Swank comes out to talk things over. And it'll appear that he'll come out to make a pitching change. So that will bring us to a break here on the YouTube channel. The Rockets are leading 12-3.